Internet freedom is under attack.
Yeah, they put up a giant wall and block certain sites that don't pay them a fee.
It's as though the richer companies get no advantage at all.
The net neutrality issue in Canada is a complicated one, but essentially what we're dealing with is how do we divide up and charge for the capacity of the tubes and the pipes that live in the ground that we send the data across. So right now, you know, the pipes and the infrastructure are owned by the big folks, so people like TELUS and Bell and Rogers. There's this thing called common carriage on the internet where you're not allowed to discriminate on traffic based on where it's from or what the nature of the data is. And this is how the internet has come to be what it is. It's been a free and open, accessible network where all the players and content is treated equal. And what we're moving towards, and what some of the bigger companies would like to see, is more of a tiered internet structure where they essentially take the total, amount of bandwidth that's available. You can think of it as a pie, and they divide it up and they say, okay, well, 50% of this bandwidth is dedicated to Google because they pay us a certain rate, and 25% of it's dedicated to Microsoft, and 10% of it's dedicated to the Canadian government for emergency services, and this last 15% of the overall capacity will be, dedicated to whomever. So the only way that small companies, independent artists, content producers, filmmakers will be able to get access to fast internet is to pay a higher price, which they won't be able to do. And the result of this will be the stifling of innovation in Canada. I mean, today, whether you're yourself or Google or Microsoft or me, you get the same treatment on the internet. This is the net neutrality issue. It's a neutral place, and we can't discriminate based on where the traffic comes from. But that could be changing if we don't stand up.
So it looks like in the US, they're going to have an open internet, and so far that's the direction it's going.
The answer is yes. I am a strong supporter of net neutrality.
Whereas in Canada, we're kind of moving the other direction.
This minister's hands-off approach to hands-on interference is bad news for the development of a Canadian innovation agenda. Net neutrality is a cornerstone of an innovative economy because it's the consumer and the innovator that needs to be in the driver's seat. Not Ma Bell, not Rogers, not Videotron. They have no business deciding what information is in the fast lane and what information is in the slow lane.
We have a well-advanced internet system in this country, Mr. Speaker. It is not publicly regulated, and at this point in time, we will continue to leave the matter between consumers on the one hand and internet service providers on the other. Thank you.
So the danger of that is that Canada could become the backwater of online innovation because companies could move to the US because they know they have the open internet there. So it's a really pressing issue here. But on the bright side, I think Canadian politicians and regulators are now looking at the US and saying, look, we have to follow suit. Otherwise, we are going to lose business. We are going to have less, the citizens will have less access to an open internet.
I think there's a lot of confusion about what's at stake here. I think people see it as just kind of a technical thing or kind of a policy wonk issue, but to me it's really important because I think that with the internet we have the opportunity, maybe once in a lifetime opportunity to actually reinvent the media and rebuild it in a way that I think is more reflective of what people want. And if we don't do it properly, we're going to get more of the same, so we're going to have internet content that ends up looking like television content, which quite frankly is lacking in my view compared to what you see online. And so I think that we're in danger of losing a lot of the new forms of content, the new kinds of information, the new perspectives that the internet makes possible. And so whenever I get a chance, I talk about it and try and convince people that it's actually as much a problem as it is.